everybody, and welcome to another video. Now, some of you have been asking, where are all your tunes and little jingles? Well, you're going to get two in this one clip.
It's time to show you the famous Rose Hill Roundabout. That's right, the famous Rose Hill Roundabout.
Now, as I've shown you in the past, the right hand lane is for the A297, which is all the way down there. So now it's time for your second little bit of music. It's one of Sadiq Khan's License to Kill Assassins. Surprisingly, doesn't want the 297. That happened, other than him being a clueless piece of shit, is the fact that he tried to overtake the bike at the wrong time, and he can't get back into his proper lane behind me. Otherwise he was going to cut up the bike or get too close to me, but that obviously doesn't mean that he's going to cut me up neither further down the road, does it? Now, in the next clip we are still at the Rose Hill Roundabout, but from another entrance here. You can just about see the map over to the right hand side of the lorry in front of us. Now, if you want to exit either the first or the second exit here, you go in the left hand lane. If you want to do either 3, 4 or 5, you go in the right hand lane. You'll see that from the road signs. If you're a great big lorry like this guy in front of us, you would just go in the middle of both lanes because the lanes ain't that big. So we're obviously not looking at the lorry. I'm just going to hold back here because there is a little walkway there to the right hand side and I can see a pedestrian. I get a lovely smile there from her. Yeah, manners cost nothing, girl. Manners cost absolutely nothing. I don't know about you, but I just couldn't do that. Not actually turn around and look at the guy that's actually let me walk across the road without going round his car. I just couldn't do it. Anyway, we are looking at this guy. I don't know what he's doing in his cab, but I don't know, he seems to be having like a dance or something. What's his hand signals? I kept looking at him thinking, are you pointing at me? Or what? You want me to move up or something? I don't know. I'm not moving up because there's a walkway there, as I've just shown you. But anyway, he just seemed to be doing these funny things. Whether he's messing about with his hat or not, I don't know. So anyway, we start to go, and as soon as I go, I want to get out to the right hand lane, so I'm taking the third exit. He goes to the left hand lane. Less traffic in the left hand lane, but he obviously wants to go off of the exit 1 or 2, doesn't he? As you can see, there's another little walkway there which he's partially blocked as well. So maybe that's what he was pointing at. I can block up the walkway. Why don't you? I don't know. So eventually we get a green light and we can go. Is he going to take either the exit 1 or 2? No, he's not. He's going to take 3, the same as mine, so he shouldn't be. You can see where he should be going, either take that one there or this one here. But no, he's going to take neither. So again, a lovely great advert for your company's name that's written all over that van. But we ain't finished yet. He decides to go up the pavement here and park right on the bend there. Pavement, yeah? Right on the bend on double red lines. Great advert for your company, isn't it, that one? Yeah, so to park like that on a bend on double reds and to do the roundabout wrong. And believe it or not, I know that he's done that roundabout wrong on purpose. I can tell by the way they drive it. It was done on purpose. He just didn't want to be behind another vehicle. So we move on a little bit further. And what is this clown here doing? Does he honestly think he's going to be able to park at that angle? He's not going to be able to clear that car in front of him. Or maybe he's just going to leave it like that. Maybe that is him parked. It wouldn't surprise me the way they drive nowadays. So now it's time for me to have a go at the good old British workforce. Imagine having a bus route that cannot get round the bend unless the front of it goes over the pavement, making pedestrians stop. Look at this guy over to the right hand side. This pedestrian knows the score. He knows, he's waiting there. Because the bus is going over the pavement, not over the pavement with his wheels, but with the front of the bus. So the pedestrian had no choice other than to wait for him. I mean, surely something can be done there. You either move the bollards here or you change the bus route. I mean, look how close he is to the bollards anyway through making that tight turn. And I'm not having a go at the driver here, by the way. I'm having a go at the people above him, way above him, that puts bollards there on a turn-in. Why not move the bollards further down the road so it's not in the way of the bus? It just makes sense, doesn't it? One day, someone will come a cropper there and then they'll wonder why no one said anything beforehand. Now, people pulling out of turn-ins. See this guy over to the right hand side? He obviously can't go into our road unless someone stops for him or slows down. But why the hell should we?
Whoa. What do you keep on going for?
Now, we do not have to let these people go, but this guy has obviously been born with a silver spoon up his arse and always gets his own way. And this is how he treated me after I didn't let him go.
Whoa. What do you keep on going for? Oh, and that's my fault, is it?
Yes, he flashed me like I should let him go. I'm a bad person because I didn't let him go. Now, I've got to admit here, I did gesture to him and I did give him the what's wrong with you sort of what's up sort of gesture, but then I did do a couple of stronger ones to him. So I'm thinking, yeah, come and have a little word with me. If you think that I've done something wrong not letting your spoilt little fucking fat ass out, then you come and have a word with me. So when it gets further down the road here and it goes into two lanes, I did expect him to go up my right hand side here, or the left hand side as we're looking at it, and have a little chat with me.
Go on, come and say something. Come and say something. Come on, come on. Go on, come and say something. Come and say something. Come on, come and say something. No, I didn't think so.
And yes, I got triggered by him flashing his lights, but he is one of them after all. He's speeded up to go past us to what? To traffic lights. He's one of them fucking idiots that has to get to the front of the traffic lights. He has to speed up to get to the traffic. There he is over to the right hand side, getting through that tiny gap there to go to the front of the queue to wait at traffic lights. What an absolute fucking moron. Anyway, a little bit further down the road, I've calmed down a little bit now, and you do not have to see the lights to know that someone's gone through the lights on the opposite side to you. These lot coming from the right just have to have a little look at our lights when they change to see they've gone to red and amber. That mini over there, that's got to be going through a red light. Not unless these lights are badly phased. But that was a red light jumper for me. Now, as I've shown you, some people I just do not let out. And there are some rules that I always do. I've got to admit, if you're in the right lane here and someone's indicating to turn right in front of you, I don't let them back in. Sorry, if you're stupid enough to get behind someone that's indicating to turn right and you get behind them, where you think you're going to go? You're going to make everyone stop from my lane to come back in. We're looking at the BMW there, just in front of the car to my right hand side. There's a car in front of it that's turning right. It is indicating, I know you can't see it, but it is indicating, so the BMW needs to come over into our lane. He's not coming in front of me. You can wait there. If you're that stupid, you just wait there. So I don't let him in and we go past him. It is only one lane here. It goes to two in a little while. But look, when we go to the rear camera, he's got no front number plate, so he's well legal as well, isn't he? Obviously, when the road goes, when it opens up a little bit and goes into two lanes, he's got to get past me, isn't he? He's got to zoom past me. Even though it's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit and there's cameras down here, he's got to go past me. You know, these people are just, you know, they're special, aren't they? They are special. So he zooms past me, and up there in the distance you can probably see the big yellow box there. So he's got to hammer his brakes on and then slow down to the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. I do want the lane that he's in because we're both turning right at the top of the road here, and I just end up right behind him waiting at traffic lights. So there's no point in zooming away. What's the point? Just take your time. You're going to end up at the same bloody traffic lights as all the rest of us, except we would have done it with using a lot less fuel. I wonder if they've done a video like that. Someone that drives like that who just rushes to get to red lights, and someone that like me that can't be asked to do that sort of stuff. If it makes a lot of difference on your miles per gallon. It's got to do, innit? Now in this clip we are looking at the van with the yellow and red stripes, the one to the right hand side. We're also looking at another colour, the colour of the traffic light, and this one isn't even close. You'll see the traffic light over to the left hand side, it's red now. I mean, that's not even close, is it? I mean, that's blatant. So in this clip we are approaching the mad mile, except I get stopped by a red light. Now we're going to go to the rear camera now to just show you a bit of weirdness. Why are drivers so bloody weird? We're looking in my lane, okay, further back down the road. My lane, there's a van and then there's a car behind it. It's almost as though the car doesn't see me. It's going too fast. Is it slowing down? Is it going to slow down? You can slow down if you want. You can hit the brakes. How close would you like to get? Why do people do that? What, is there any reason why to be that close? It didn't look like he was going to slow down. I was getting a little bit nervous looking at him in the mirror, I've got to say.
Yeah, we get longer. To the right there. Ooh! Fast acceleration! Well done, you're in front, mate. That's way.
So now we're looking at impatience. Now the bus is stopped over the right hand side. I have priority. Not according to this one here. Now look how close he is to me there, but look how close he is to the bus. Look how close he is to that bus. I mean, is it really worth it? I'm going to show you it from the rear camera now to just show you how close he is to the bus all the way down the side of the bus. What is the point? Just bloody wait until the bus moves away or there's a gap in the traffic. Impatient driver or what? Now in this clip we are looking at this car that's just pulling out in front of us there. Now for some reason, I don't know why, it starts to slow down, puts its brakes on, there's nothing in front of it, there he goes, puts his brakes on, and again, for no reason. Then it starts to pull out to the right hand side. I did not see a phone at all in this. Now I always say look further than the end of your bonnet, and occasionally you do have to look in your mirrors. Maybe I do it a bit too much, look in my mirrors, but that's probably down to the habit of being a van driver. Most of my career of driving has been in a van, so I'm always looking in my side mirrors, especially because you ain't got a rear view mirror, because there isn't one, and then you can't see out the back windows anyway. So I'm looking at this, but I'm also looking around me to see what's going on around me. I don't think this car has a clue what's in front of it or behind it. So we're coming up here now and there's a car turning right in front of it. Why is it moving out to the right as though it's going to turn right? It's not turning right, it's going straight on. Odd, really, really odd. It's like I'm following that car and I don't know what I'm doing. Now you'll see my position here. I'm so far over to the left hand side. Why do you think that is? Why do you think I'm over to the left hand side? Everyone else in front of me is dead centre in the road. There's a car coming towards us that's turning right across us that shouldn't really be there. I'm almost touching the pavement. I'm that close. I'm almost touching the curb rather. Why? Obviously because there's blue flashing lights behind me that I've already seen. I've seen it already, so I know it's there. I've got to clear this junction that's to our left hand side as we're looking at it because it's in the way. So now I'm right over. No one else has seen it in front of me. No one. It's really, really odd that no one can see that and gets in everyone's way. It's so bizarre. No one moves. Now, that blue car still hasn't seen it, and the bloody ambulance has to put its siren on to get it to get out of the way. That's how bad some people's observation is on the road. This is why I always have a go at pedestrians. Do not step out in front of cars because they could be like this idiot. Now this here, the good old British workforce strikes again. You see that line there? Well, there shouldn't be a line there because there isn't a box there. The bump starts there and it finishes all the way over there. There isn't a box there. It's hard to see on camera and it's actually hard to see when you're driving, but there isn't a break in the bump there. Now I don't know if you've noticed after me talking about the British workforce there, but did you see the ambulance? The sirens went off, the lights went off, so the emergency must have been some sort of false alarm. I don't know. answer on a postcard as to why that would be. So for the final clip of the day, it's advice really. A lot of people have been messaging me saying, can I give advice on when it snows, what we should do, what are the procedures we should be doing and following. So here's my advice on what you should be doing when it snows. So the first thing you should be doing when the alarm goes off, you should be doing this. Then you should pick up the phone and talk to your boss and say, sorry, the car won't start, or I don't feel very well, I've got a sore throat. So basically all I'm saying is roll over and stay the fuck in bed and let someone else do the driving. Now that's very easy for me to say because I'm self-employed and have been self-employed for many years, so I can just have days off when I want to, but I literally do. When the weather's normally like this that we can see here, I just don't go out driving. I've got total confidence in my own abilities of how to drive in snow, but I've got zero confidence in anyone else being able to drive in snow. And once they make a mistake, they can't stop and they just pretty much, well, I just don't take the risk. So I stay in bed. There's my advice, stay in bed. And as you know, I'm always happy to help out, so I do hope that I've helped a few of you out with my advice on how to handle snow. And on that note, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe and do all of that sort of stuff. You guys know the drill anyway. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching and I will catch you on the next one. Bye bye.